Is up,
It's
brother.
about damn time.
It did take a little bit longer than we wanted it to. We were supposed to start like 15 minutes ago, but it took a minute to get all this stuff set up. But we're here now, dude.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. It happens.
Okay, so you are on the Bengals already. Let's start with that. Is that who you're playing with?
Yeah, that's my team, man. Joey B.
Okay. Why
Joey
why
B.
Bengals? I have to ask you right off the rip before we even start. Why Bengals?
Well, I live in Dayton, Ohio, which is like 45 minutes from Cincinnati. So
Okay.
I've been a Bengals fan since birth. And I mean, we got Chuck Sizzle from Purdue on here. Marcus Bailey just left for Arizona, but have had a bunch of pro boilers here in Cincinnati. Eric Miller just signed with them as an undrafted free agent. So there's a few Purdue guys. And
What
what
what color
uniforms?
uniforms did you choose? I want to make sure I'm not clashing because I'm
Uh,
colorblind, so I can't have some crazy uniforms.
are you for real? I didn't know that.
Well, like if they're both like if there was like purple and blue, I would have a real
Yeah.
hard time playing this
Oh, well,
game.
that's true. All mine are the all black.
All black. Okay, I'm gonna wear white then. Make it real easy on myself.
Who did
Um.
Russ play as?
Uh. I think he had. Oh man, these are hideous jerseys. Those blue ones are sweet though.
Navy blue.
No. I forgot what color he wore when we played.
Oh, he was the Cowboys, wasn't he? He's
Oh
a
yeah.
Cowboys
He
fan.
played with the Cowboys, but I forget what color he wore though.
Very on brand for him to be the Cowboys fan.
Typical.
I I give him hell for it all. I give Russ hell for everything. People think I don't like Russ. I love Russ. But then, we're on the podcast together. Like we call him old, and he's not. Well, like our running joke with Russ is that he's like the old man. He's not even the oldest one in the podcast. Like
That's so. It is funny you guys always get on him for that.
he's not. He's not even the Chris. Chris is the oldest, but Russ does old man things, and so we just give him hell for it.
All right. So, the other thing was too that I have only played this game once, and the last time I played, I I've had to play on the like Xbox Cloud streaming because I didn't have like the new version of Madden on my old
Yeah.
Xbox. That's all changed today. That's
Oh,
changed. I have a
snap.
new Xbox now. It's here. It's sitting right here. I'm tapping it.
Just for me, huh?
Just for you. I wanted the new Xbox because I wanted the stream to be better today, but also I wanted to start playing this Madden more because I think it's going to be some of the movement. I think is going to be the same as like the college football game. I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
the
kind of
best thing about it's not going to be like a carbon copy of Madden, which I think is nice.
no. That is really nice. Like the video, the trailer that came out. Like it looks like it's going to be real good. Like it's going to be
Have you
completely different. I
have you
did
joined the
change my
boiler?
entire setup today though too. Let me get some like pre-made excuses out here right now. I changed my entire setup today for the new Xbox so that I could be on a bigger monitor. The bigger monitor doesn't have sound, so I have no idea what the sound sounds like right now at all. And
Yeah,
we
why you
did
need
just get a
sound, though?
comment, Dylan. It says no sleeves Dylan is equal to Edie with a headband? Question mark. Is that true?
Who was that?
That was from the Ultimate Boiler.
Oh, that's Damon. That's our guy, Dane. He's our host.
Oh, okay.
That's our guy, Big Dame. What's up, Dame? No one. I think I'm the only one in Damon's life that calls him Dame. But it's like Dame Lillard. He's the leader of our group. It fits.
That works. I like
No,
it.
that's how. It's 91 degrees. It's 91 degrees out today. So listen, I'm struggling as a big fella. This. Oh my God, that would have been a disaster. As a big fella, this weather is even worse.
If I lose this game, how much crap talk is there going to be from the Boiler Express pod to me for the rest of my life, pretty much?
I don't think Russ will let you live it down. Russ, did you win or did Russ win when you guys
Russ
played?
beat me. Oh, God, wide
Yeah.
open. That was a
That
guy I
was a
should have been
boy.
guarding.
I know now Russ and I need to play, but I know when college football comes out, we're gonna start streaming a lot more like this stuff.
Yeah.
So I need to figure out how to do that. Like right now, it's like I told you before, my house is older than sin, so like the upstairs is hotter than all hell, And so I put everything, like my podcast setup and this setup is all on a bar cart in my living room.
That's awesome, though.
Because my living room's a lot cooler than it is upstairs.
Dude, speaking of a bar cart, my family had just left. Like, I'm talking like 30 seconds before you jumped on this call today. So I'm free the rest of the night.
The missus trusts you alone? I mean,
I don't know.
Gonna burn the house down?
I don't know what she was thinking, but I'm gonna drink so much tonight. It's gonna be ridiculous. Is there a hockey game tonight?
Yeah, I think game 5, game 6, game 5.
You might find me at the pub.
Dude, I'm a big hockey guy.
I love hockey. Oh no!
No! Oh, Joe Mixon. Shout out. Well, he's on.
All right, so the guy that just made the tackle is a Purdue guy, Derek Barnes. I just learned that from Russ.
Yeah, Derek Barnes, boiler.
I've had you on third down twice already. I
clinching
feel like I'm off to a good start, but I can't get a stop. Stay with him, Barnes.
Oh. Flag.
I had to let the computer do that because, number one, I accidentally switched the camera right before that play started. And number two, I could not figure out how to guard pass plays when I was playing this game last time. Oh, he's wide open.
Shoot.
Yes!
Shoot.
I figured it out.
Dadgummit. Try not to curse. Sorry for cursing.
You can cuss, dude. This is my stream.
No.
You want.
My current profession. I don't want to put that out in the world.
All right, so you told me right before the game started that you're going to middle school next year. Are you excited about that?
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I was in a kindergarten classroom last year, and those kids were a bunch of fun. Like they're so funny, but they don't mean to be funny. They just say the most random things.
Yeah.
But I decided to switch it up. They gave me the choice between the two, and I was like, you know what? I'll try. Ooh, that was a big hit. I said I'll try middle school, and I work where I graduated from, so I know most of the teachers and all that, and I know a lot more of the teachers at the middle school level. Because most of the teachers I had are old and retired. Like they've been retired for a while.
Yeah.
But no, I decided to change it up a little bit. I'm hoping to coach some basketball. My old basketball coach is still there. So I'm hoping maybe he'll let me on the bench because that's where I was when I played. So it doesn't really it doesn't really, I texted him. I'm like, hey, is that seat on the bench of mine still open?
That's hilarious.
But I'm really good at like spinning the ball in my finger. My 5-year-old niece is like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, when you don't ever play, like you get good at other things, and this is one of those things.
That's so funny, dude.
I'm excited.
I feel like I'm borderline retired from teaching. I did it for 7 years.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
Middle school is fun. It depends on the school, though. Like, you can run into some real difficult children, I guess I would call them.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it away. That might be intentional grounding.
No, I was afraid it was going to be rough in the passer. In today's NFL, you got to protect.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Got to sound like those olds, like Russ. Picking on Russ, ain't even here.
It's tough, man.
He's on vacation. All of us podcasters at BXP don't take a vacation except for Russ.
Oh, God. Good play. All right, I got Greg McManus here. He's also a Purdue fan. I know that for a fact. He's on Twitter a lot. Middle schoolers are goofballs, and you know exactly where you stand. They just spout off exactly what they're thinking. That's true.
There's no filter. And just tapping doorways.
Dancing really weird. Dude, this happened to me the other day, man. I can't figure out the kick thing on here.
I don't want to touch
that. That actually ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, the roll. I should have caught it, but I didn't.
I missed an extra point and a field goal when I was playing my buddy Mike the other day.
Dang. Was it? I don't think I watched the end of the game with you and Russ. Was it very close?
He ended up beating me by quite a bit, actually.
Dadgummit, Kent. I was rooting for you.
Let's go!
You've got to be kidding me.
Get to the end zone because I'm not going to score otherwise. Jesus.
Tough.
Shout out to
Tough,
Greg
tough.
though, man. Greg has been following me like for a very long time. He's one of my day one followers. I like Greg
There
a
you
lot. He also just
go.
said that was an anti-Iowa punt. Shame. I actually feel like I feel like it was a decent punt. I need to figure out. That's the one thing I need to figure out, Dylan. I need to figure out how to get the comments to come up on the stream.
Yeah, so we use StreamYard.
Yeah, that
And,
works. That works good, but you have to pay for that though.
Yeah, so Frank pays for ours. I don't know why he doesn't. We all should pay for it, but for like certain levels, you can only have a certain amount of admins. So we pay the lowest amount, which I think is like $20 or something.
Yeah.
And you can only have 2 admins. So we're always trading login info to kind of curb that. But yeah, with that, they have it on the side and you just click on them. Because that's why I like live podcasts, is because the listeners kind of chime in and it helps the conversation roll.
Oh yeah, totally.
Especially, I mean, there for a while we didn't have anybody that listened live. But,
this is
but now we're
a miserable game.
Ooh,
You're about to score though.
Ooh. Damn.
Was that 3 picks in the first quarter?
Yeah, we're both just throwing the ball to anybody.
I thought I had that guy open. I tried to throw it to the inside, and it just did not work out how I wanted it to.
If I lose, Russ will.
Make a play.
Huh! Oh, is that first? Yep. If I lose, I'll never hear the end of it from Russell.
Yeah. Same for me though. If I lose, it's gonna be worse, I think, for me than it would be for you.
Yeah, but you talk nice to Russ. I don't. I just talk mass amounts of nonsense to Russ.
You were actively cheering for me when we played each other.
I was. And people think like, oh, Dylan hates Russ. I love Russ. He's one of my favorite humans. But it's just we talk crap to each other. We all talk crap to each other at the Boiler Express.
That's the way to do it though.
I tried hosting once and it was abysmal. At first, like, Damon was out, he was sick or something, and the boys were like, who's gonna host? And I was like, you know what, I bet I could do it. And I tried it, and the opening was like, welcome to the Boiler Express. And I put in our private chat, I was like, nope, never doing that again. Somebody else host. I'm done. I'm just there to talk crap. Shoot.
Oh, that should have been a pick.
I thought you had it too. I don't know why I threw that.
Also, just going back one play, they called illegal contact on me. I was getting blocked by the wide receiver trying to get out to someone else. That's not fair.
Those bad refs.
Cheating taking place.
Am I paying the virtual refs?
Get him.
Oh, slide. Oh, that's a penalty in real life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just took off his dome. Ooh, see ya. Goodbye. 1 foot, too.
Brutal.
Joe Mixon.
All right, man.
Oh, now we're gonna focus up.
I gotta be better. I gotta be better at this game. I need to stop making excuses and just be better.
Oh shoot! I thought I was gonna miss that for a minute. Does JR play Madden?
I don't know. I have to ask him. I haven't. The crazy thing is, like, we haven't did a pod together in over 2 weeks.
Has it been that long? Well, yeah, he was off for a week. Yeah,
he was off for a week, but then last week he had, I don't know what happened. Something came up, and he wasn't able to do a show last week either. So the last time that show happened was 2 weeks ago.
JR taking it easy, I tell you. No, that guy, like, he pods almost every night. I don't know how he does it.
He works so hard, man.
Like when he came to us, him and Eric from the OHIO pod came to us, and they were like, you want to join the huddle? And we were like, oh yeah, like, don't even have to second guess anything.
Yeah.
Like, we're in, because we were part of a network before that, and they're defunct now. if that says anything. They didn't know how to run a lemonade stand, let alone a podcast network. And so, like, we had just left there, and the Ohio Pod guys were a part of the same network, and they were feeling the same way. And so we were both like, you know what? Like, we got with JR, and we're like, let's start, the college huddle. And JR, man, he puts in, I don't know how many hours a week he puts into this thing where none of us make money off. But
Dude, it's
like,
crazy. Not the
I,
not making money part, but it's crazy. All right, I got a couple more comments that aren't on the screen. My buddy Brad, Bet Big Brad, he said took Thursday off. Was he talking about like the pod on Thursday? I'm not sure.
who knows?
Nice
Dang.
play, Laporta. Oh,
Dang.
yeah. Get
Let's
off
just
me.
not tackle.
Let's
Good
go. I needed that bad. And then Greg is back. He said, so we need to know how sad CBT will be with Coleman in the Big 12 instead of the Big. I'm quite upset about that. I'm happy for Coleman, though. He went and got paid, man.
Yeah,
Did you
he
hear
did
about
get
this?
paid.
He got $2 million.
Was it $2 million?
Yes.
Dang.
I'm happy for him. I
didn't know Kansas State had that type of payroll.
I didn't either. I was
Man.
kind of surprised. Oh, I was trying to run. What was I doing? DBs are playing pretty tight out there. I'm having a hard time finding openings. I think he went on Sleepers podcast, by the way, which I've been asking him to come on the College Huddle, so I'd like him to respond to that soon.
Talking about Coleman?
Yeah, dude. Right?
That would be,
Why not?
That would be cool. And I mean, yeah. We, like, during this time of year, we
Let's
haven't
go.
had any, we haven't had any guests this summer. Yeah, I mean, the summer's still young. But we like to have a few guests on the show. A lot of Purdue alums. We try to do an even between football alums and basketball alums. We tend to get more footballs most of the time, but we get I know we had a lot of good ones last year. Charles Terwazzo Jr., who works for USA Football, is one of our go-tos. Played at Purdue, went from wide receiver. He was there during the Hazel years, which were the dark days of Purdue football. 9 wins in 4 years. Oh, it was miserable.
What was his name? I was super focused on my kickoff, or on my extra point. I couldn't miss that.
Charles Terwazzo Jr.
Okay.
Chuck T, as I call him. One of my good dudes. He's the best. He
Was
works
he
for
the
USA.
guy- I listened to one last summer. I feel like he was like just at your house and jumped on the pod. Was that him?
No. So that was none of them come to my house. But we have a friend who's a good friend of mine, Stu Schweigert, who played at Purdue during the golden years, and he played 9 seasons with the Raiders. You've got to be kidding me! 9 years with the Raiders. He streams from his basement, and he's got so much like Purdue memorabilia. Like he's got, like, I have Purdue memorabilia. I need to bring more of it down. Like, I'm a jersey collector, a few other things, but Stu's collection makes mine look like nothing. He's got jackets Tiller wore back in the day. He's got playbooks from the 01 Rose Bowl.
Wow.
He's got so much stuff. But I mean, like, he was, I think, was he in school during the Rose Bowl? Pretty sure he was. He's got all this stuff. So that's Stu. He's hilarious. He's one of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. He's hilarious. We should have him on the huddle one of these days.
That'd be
because
awesome.
he brings the
Greg
energy.
just said break down the last Stu appearance. Apparently, I don't know what he's referencing here. Something crazy happened?
Yeah, there's always some sort. So we had Stu and Chike Okafor, who both played at Purdue back in the day, and Chike, aka Chief. It was pretty much the Chike and Stu show. they just kind of took it over, and we just let them go. I mean, they were telling stories from back in the day, and then they're such an energetic bunch. Stu brings the heat every time he's on the show. Like, if you get him on a topic he's hype about, he just like goes bananas in the best way possible. He's the man. And so that episode was 2 hours, like 2.5 hours long.
Wow.
Because Stu was just on a roll, and we're like, we're not going to tell Stu to stop because this is gold. And I think Frank trimmed it down to maybe like an hour 45, hour and a half. But yeah, that show was electric. You'll get, like, when Stu's on the show, we'll get other football alums in the comments, and they all talk crap to each other, and it's hilarious. It's such a good time when Stu's. I need to text Stu and get him on the show again. He's electric. No filter to the guy. He just says whatever he wants, and that's my favorite thing about him.
Yeah.
He just lets it all fly, and he's got great stories from back in the day. Like Joe Tiller, who obviously is the best football coach we've had at Purdue, I think it was when he was recruiting Stu, made a comment about Stu's gigantic nose. And he goes, I think he said, like, how are we going to find a face mask to fit around that nose or something like that.
I think I listened to that episode as well.
Yeah, it's so he's got great Tiller stories. He's the man. I love Stu Schweigert. He's one of my favorites. And like one of those things where Stu was a guy I watched growing up. I've been going to Purdue football games since I was a kid. My dad had season tickets since I was born, and then like I still have the season tickets. Dad passed away 2 years ago now, and I took over his season tickets. So I grew up watching guys like Stu, and so now like I text Stu on a regular basis, and it's wild to think like this dude I grew up watching and being a fan of now we just text, and like he'll FaceTime me at random times. And
Yeah.
I interned for an indoor football team here in Dayton, and Stu was an owner of another team in the same league, and I didn't know until like a few years ago. And he was like, I owned the Saginaw Sting. And I was like, what? Like, I worked for the Dayton Sharks. And Stu's team was way cooler than ours. They had way better uniforms and way better arena and way better everything. But it's crazy how we lapsed like that, but didn't even know.
Yeah, that's insane.
Stu's a wild man, but like in the best way possible. I love Stu Schweigert. We had, I don't know, we've had so many on. Raphael Davis, who's on the Big Ten Network. We've had him on a few
Davis
times.
on? Raphael?
Yeah, Raphael. I always say it wrong. We had RD on. He's one of our favorites. He's one of Purdue fandom favorites. Like everyone loves.
I
RD.
love him. I love that guy. He's awesome.
He's so good at his job. Like he's just one of those dudes that knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Which you would think would be more common in that position, but it's not.
Right.
Like there's just not like me. There's not a lot of dudes that know what they're talking about, but they get a microphone. But he does, and he's great. And we've had him on a few times. Markel Jones, who's a running back for I think he's a 4-year guy at Purdue. I don't know. We've made a lot of great connections and a lot of great friendships. And yeah, we need to get more guests on this summer. I need to even that up. But man, it's the Purdue community. I think the best thing about Purdue University or Purdue football specifically is the guys are very reachable. Like they're not big heads who think they're too good to go on some fan podcast or what have you. So there's a lot of great guys that have Vinny Sutherland's another one. Vinny was one of the ones talking smack to Stu in the comments and was getting Stu all riled up. And Stu was trying to get Vinny on the show and he's calling him, but Vinny wouldn't answer. And Vinny's a buddy, and it's so wild. Like I remember, so I go to football games with two of my dad's fraternity brothers from Purdue, and I was talking about something, and I was like, I was talking to Stu Schweigert the other day, and my uncle's like, wait a minute, like you just talked to Stu Schweigert? And I'm like, yeah, we text, I've had him on the podcast
that's my
a few
boy,
times,
dude.
And he was like, that's kind of cool. And for my Uncle Louis to be like, that's kind of rad. Like it takes a lot, but man, like I don't know, the Purdue community is pretty close knit, and the guys are pretty reachable for the most part. You don't have a whole lot of guys who think they're too big, too good to do community events, and I don't know, man. Like Purdue's just a cool place. And granted, I am a major homer, but I don't know. I have a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun doing it.
That sounds amazing, dude.
It's a good time.
I didn't realize you guys had so many former players on. That's incredible.
We have a pretty good roster of former players that we've talked to, and there's been a few I've been wanting to get, but they're busy. We've had trying to think how many now. I mean, mostly football, like I said. Trying to think. It's been mostly football, but it's still a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Who would be your dream guest then? Of
Drew
guys
Brees.
that you haven't had on yet.
Give me Drew Brees, and I don't fangirl over celebrities a lot. But if we had Drew Brees on, I would faint. like, like if I saw Drew Brees, I've seen him in person. He comes to games, especially now he's retired, fairly often. And like when he comes to campus, man, it's like the Pope's in town.
Yeah.
Dude, like I'm granted he's like our Brady, our what you want to call it. But yeah, if we ever got Drew Brees on, that would be pretty rad. I don't know like if he's even reachable from a guy on our level, but like I would love. He's a good dude. Like from what I've heard, like he's a really really good dude. Never had the honor of meeting him, but Drew Brees or Robbie Hummel.
Now Robbie, I think Robbie would do it.
Yeah, Robbie would. I don't think any of us have reached out to him. He's a great dude. And he's another one like RD, like great at his job. I love, and I granted Homer, but I love listening to him talk ball on broadcast. He's great at it.
He is really good.
Just, like one of the moments that choked me up on the road to the Final Four this year was winning the Big Ten championship. Or no, maybe it was going. No, it was the game, the Elite Eight game to go to the Final Four. Yeah. And Paint and Hummel like dap up, and Hummel starts crying, and I'm like, oh god, like here come the tears. All right, wasn't ready for this, and that just goes to show how much these guys love Paint, and Paint's a staple of not just Purdue basketball but Purdue University. Speaking of Purdue, Chuck Sizzle, number 15.
I didn't know he was on. Is he still on the Bengals then? Obviously, he's still on a rookie contract, but
yeah, he's still on his rookie. And then they had Marcus Bailey. Marcus just signed with Arizona. I feel like there was a third one, but I can't remember. Oh, Jamar.
Got there late. Nice play.
I think another one of my favorites, we need to get him on again, was Bryson Hopkins, tight end for the Rams. Super Bowl champ. Yeah, we've had him on. He was a great guest, friend of the program.
There's nobody there. I thought you were going to throw it to that guy crossing.
I fumbled out of bounds. Whew. Yeah, D-Hop's a good one. We've had so many great guys, and we need to have more this summer. We haven't really had time. Life is like Chris just had twins. Like all of those, like Damon moved. Like we've all been so busy, we haven't had time to podcast as much as we want.
Yeah.
During the off season.
I know you guys were off for quite a bit, like in between, like the preview of the championship, and then like when you guys actually did it again, like after it was over.
Well, then we were all pretty bummed Purdue lost.
Oh my God, I was there. Move your body correctly.
Like after going to the Final Four and then losing the championship game, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails for a little bit. But
I can imagine.
We had never been there before, so we really didn't know how to act. Like what are we supposed to do? I don't know. I trust Paint. A lot of Purdue fans, and specifically on Twitter, like God forbid Purdue lose to like a Rutgers.
Nice play.
Or something like that, and then they're like fire Painter like right away. I don't like. The reason we started BXP was we wanted to have a positive outlet on Purdue sports, because too many times things get negative especially on like fan podcasts. That's a miss. Gosh darn it.
Oh, that might be big.
Jiminy Christmas. So we try to be positive. There's times we critique things, sure, but like we're never, and it's different with NIL now, but when you talk about like grown adults talking about 18-year-old kids, and like I said, granted, it is a little different now. These 18-year-old kids are making a couple mil, like it's no big deal. But I don't know. We try to keep things as positive as possible.
Yeah, I had a tweet about that where like I was saying that, with all this money now, it really opens them up for criticism.
Oh yeah. Well, now you can't use the amateur, unpaid kids out there playing. Granted, an 18-year-old to 20, 21 still a kid, but if you're making grown man money, come on. Like if our school or donors or whoever is paying you a million or more, it's like, all right, you gotta work for your paycheck kind of a situation. Granted, you look at Zach Edey. Zach couldn't make as much. He couldn't capitalize on NIL as much as he could, like probably could have, because he's working on a visa.
Yeah.
So he didn't make nearly as much as like a back-to-back Player of the Year could have. And now he just put out a KFC commercial, so now he's making his money, which is great. Son of a gun.
Dude, that guy hawked me down so quick. Did you see the KFC? You probably weren't watching the finals last night, were you?
No, I did. Yeah, I saw the Zach Edey commercial.
You saw it live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I had just turned the game on, and I was already I already saw it on Twitter before it happened, and then I was on Twitter, and then I turned the game on, so I had missed it live, but I didn't realize because I was kind of scrolling through you know how you scroll through the Twitter videos. I didn't realize it was from last night until I had seen it 4 times from 4 different people. I was like, oh, okay. A lot of people posting this tonight.
KFC. I tweeted last night. I was like, I have a sudden craving for KFC. Support the big homie. That guy. So my seats at Ross-Ade for football, the football team, when they're not in their box, will sit 10, 12, 15 rows down from me. And watching poor Zach Edey, and in this stadium, I've talked about it on the OHIO pod when Eric and Chris and those guys came to a game when Ohio State played at Purdue last year. They're all big dudes too. And that stadium was not built for people like us. It was built 100 years ago, and people were a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'2", 290 on a good day. So I'm pretty squished in there. But Zach Edey comes in at 7'4", 300 pounds, and his knees are facing away and his head is facing straight. And I'm like, get this kid in the box. What do we do?
Yeah, seriously.
Get him a box seat. I know Payne's got one. And they do most of the time, but once in a while they have recruits. They'll have basketball recruits come to football games and they'll come out with them and sit with them or whatever. But man, watching that kid try to sit in this football stadium that was built 100, 200 years ago or whatever is tough. Felt bad for him.
That's a large.
Because then you got people not wanting to sit in their seats, and it really. I could go on and on. I had 4 IU fans sit in front of my seats, but they're sitting on laps. They're each other's laps, and I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Let's not do this. I need my leg room back here. Son of a gun. Oh, you got me there. That missed field goal is really gonna bite me.
I think it is. Unless I get another stop, then it won't. I forgot to switch the time. When me and Russ played, we played for a little bit longer. It was 7-minute quarters. This has only been 6.
Oh, that's right.
So my bad for that.
No
or
worries.
actually, you sent me the request, so you would have had to switch it.
Oh yeah, so it's my bad.
Yeah, you're bad. That's on you.
I'll take that. No, we'll do this more often for sure. I love this. This is fun.
Yeah. I feel a lot more comfortable than I did the first time playing this game. I was so out of sorts because, it sounds so dumb, but playing on that cloud gaming is impossible. It looked like you could watch it back. It looked like a VCR, basically. It kept, loading from top to bottom. And, that's how it was refreshing. And I was like, man, this is brutal. Not that it really, messed me up. I was still going to lose probably, but come on, man.
Oh. Okay.
Injure him at least.
I was about to say, watch him get injured. And then I got, what's his name, coming in, which did a pretty good job. Was it last year when Joey B was hurt? I don't know. The Bengals making it to the Super Bowl was a highlight of my life. They lost, but it was kind of the same thing with Purdue making it to a natty.
Yeah,
I got to see it, and I'm cool. I'm pretty cool with that. But if we go again, then it's let's win the damn thing. Oh, nah.
I think that's the first blitz package I called all game. I've been in coverage a lot.
I love Dan Campbell of the Lions. He's one of my favorites.
He's great.
If the Bengals don't win a Super Bowl, I hope he wins multiple and stays there and is the next Belichick. That's ball game. All right. Dan Campbell's the best.
I like him because he goes for it so often. He plays like he's playing Madden.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
Calls games like he's playing Madden.
he acts like that too. Like his mannerisms are so
Yeah,
like how I would be if I were on the sideline or like a fan in general. Like you'd be going bananas.
yeah. No, he's the
And
best, man. I'm so glad we got him. Um, last year was so devastating, only because of the last game, and only because like I'm friends with it. Like obviously, my whole family, we're from Michigan, so like we're all Lions fans, and I watched all the playoff games with a lot of family members and stuff.
yeah,
Nobody was excited about anything until halftime of the NFC Championship game. And then we were all like, we're about to go to the Super Bowl. We're really about to go to the Super Bowl. And then
yeah.
it was the most Lions thing ever.
They'll be back though.
We'll see.
They just got DJ Reader. That's pretty big.
I mean,
Good
it
friend of
always
mine.
feels like the teams that you expect to come back like immediately never do, though.
A good friend of mine, Donnie Quillen, shout out DQ, is good friends with DJ Reader and does his photography and video for him. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and from what Donnie's told me, like DJ Reader's the man.
Let's go.
Like his kids call DJ like Uncle DJ, and he's gone to like their softball games and all this stuff, or cheerleading events. Dude sounds like a great guy, and he's good at football, so that's a plus. But the Bengals lost him, which sucks.
I get into a lot of arguments about Jared Goff. What do you think about him?
I like him. I mean, you know, he's had his moments, sure, but I think he's a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And finding quarterbacks in the NFL now is I feel like pretty hard. Like it's
Right.
pretty difficult to find a Joe Burrow or any of these guys, any of the other greats you can think of. Not that Joe is a great yet, but he's on his way there, hopefully. Yeah. So when you have a guy like Jared Goff, he's worth keeping just because he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a really good decision maker. He's a veteran guy at this point. So I think, you could gamble it for at the draft, but you're not guaranteed a good quarterback in the draft anymore. Like the NFL is a whole different animal.
Yeah, I like him a lot, basically because of what you just said. Like he does not make a ton of mistakes.
No, he gets the job done.
Which is great. I got to keep throwing it to this guy because you're leaving the flats open. I'm sorry, Dylan. I hate to call the same play, but I got to do it, man. I need a win on here.
You're about to get one. Don't worry. Won't be the last time, though. Dang it. We're gonna do this again.
Dude, I was so bitter when I lost. Not saying I'm gonna win this because I am not convinced that I am right now, especially because it's 4th down. When I lost to Russ. Like, I didn't think I would really care until after the game, and I was like, I need to play him immediately again.
Yeah, when he gets back home, we're going to have to set that up. I want to be on the stream just to be there to talk.
Get in there!
Oh, you snuck it in.
That.
Snuck it in. Gosh darn. I'm going to blame this on Russ. I'm going to have to figure out how it's his fault, but... I'll sit and think about it.
You got this, dude. I believe in you. I've seen you blame him for less.
Oh, I blamed him for So when I was a kid growing up, Purdue had one of those inflatable mascots, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And his name was Rowdy. And he was just this big, gigantic inflatable mascot. And that's why my gamer tags bring back Rowdy.
Yeah.
And they won't bring him back. Or they sold the suit. Some guy owns the suit. It's so like I doubt they'll ever bring him back, but it's just a shtick I have. And there's been a few times where I'm like, and it's Russ's fault that they won't bring back Rowdy. Russ sold the suit away. Like I just anything and everything. Like Boiler Uniforms, great follow on Twitter, even if you're not a Purdue fan. My guy Ted puts in so much work into tracking uniforms at Purdue.
You guys were talking about that on a recent show too. That guy.
Ted's one of my best friends. He's the man.
Okay.
He does incredible work. Like I don't know how it's like almost a full-time job for him, and he really doesn't make a dime. So Purdue has new uniforms on the way for football, but like everyone else has released theirs, and Purdue has yet to do so. And so there's like legit some people on Twitter that think Ted knows what the uniforms are. Like, that's ball game. And I've like gone into Ted's mentions at Boiler Uniforms and be like, well, if you would quit being so damn selfish and give us the uniforms, like just stir in the pot. So like I'll blame anything on anybody, but
Does he really like? So does he actually know about the uniforms then already, or no?
no, I mean like he's got people that he knows, but like he doesn't know. Like I don't think he knows what the new uniforms look like. So he may, I don't know, depending on his sources. He doesn't tell me because I'll end up tweeting it. No one can trust me in my big mouth. No, I mean he's got an idea. Like he'll, like basketball season, somebody from the paint crew will DM him and be like, "Hey, the guys came out in like white shorts, so that tells you they're gonna wear the home whites, or they came out in gold shorts, tan, whatever."
Yeah.
And so like he's got people that go to the games that'll tweet him, what uniforms they're wearing in warm-ups or what shorts or whatever. So he's got people.
Yeah.
He knows some guys in the equipment room.
Well,
I'm glad I could give you your first win.
All right, that's my first one against somebody live. Dylan, I'm sorry it had to be you because I like you so much, man, but I needed that win so badly.
Maybe I just felt so bad for you I let you in.
I think that might be the case. That might be the case. I appreciate you doing that.
Nah, man, this is a ton of fun. This won't be the last one for sure. We'll do this again.
For sure, man. We're gonna get the NCAA game going majorly when that comes out. It's gonna be going on. I forgot. I was gonna mention this too. Dude, the game is coming out like the day that my family is going on like a 2-week vacation.
And you're going too?
Yes.
Oh no.
I know. So I think I have to buy the one that, because I think there's like a premium one you can buy that you can get it like a few days early.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to buy that because I've been talking about doing this like first stream where I'm gonna keep going until I get 10 wins. I've been talking about that for months now. So like I can't even do the stream if I get it the day that it comes out. Like I'm gonna be leaving that day, so I won't have time to do it. So I got to get the early version, so I get it a couple of days early, so I can get that stream
Mrs.
done.
Casual Big Ten should have known better. The scheduling is just.
I mean, I thought this whole time that it was coming out on the 16th, and it's the 19th.
Oh yeah.
So
it's summer break for me, so no one's gonna see me for a few weeks.
I might just have to take my Xbox with me and just wherever I'm at do a stream with like no camera.
There you go.
Just play. There'll be no talking, no camera. I'll just put the game.
But people
out
watch for your handsome mug most of the time.
That's true. That is why people are tuning in, I think. All right, thanks for coming on, man. I'm gonna stop the stream, but don't leave. I want to talk to you a little bit longer.
Word. Sounds good. Appreciate it.